Now listen, I don't know who won yet. This video is real time. So what we're going to do is I'm going to pause it. What we're going to do is the final bell for Canelo versus Golovkin has just ended. Even though I felt the last round was very close, I'm going to give that to Canelo. But overall, now remember, this is real time. I'm watching the fight as the final bell just rung. And what we're going to do is, after I do this video, we're going to do a live stream where we're going to watch the post-fight press conference. We're going to watch highlights. We're going to go over everything involving the fight and what's next for both fighters. So what we're going to do is now is I don't believe that Golovkin can get a decision over Canelo in Las Vegas. Now understand, I'm going to say it one more time. This is real time. This is real time. So, I don't feel he'll be able to get a decision in this type of fight, even though I felt he was dominating the rounds, especially when you look at, even from the beginning, even though he was having some issues adjusting to Canelo's body shots. Toward the middle to second half of the fight, definitely, he started walking through Canelo's shots and chasing him around the ring. The shots were hard from Canelo to push Golovkin back a little bit, but you can tell Golovkin wasn't hurt from them, and he did respect Canelo's power. But after a while, he just started walking through them all. So how do you factor in the jab as far as points being scored from the beginning? I don't know what the punch stats are, and I've been covering boxing for years. I've seen every available Golovkin fight on the internet, every available Canelo fight. I know the fighters. So we're going to listen to it. Please subscribe. I have no allegiance to any fighter. I'm going to mute it. I'm going to mute it. I have no allegiance to any fighter. So what we're going to do is later on, once this is on my DVR, obviously, you know, for copyright reasons, we're not going to show the whole fight. If you're crafty enough, you should be able to get this fight. But I feel that this was a fight that you needed to buy, and I'm interested to see what the numbers are. And I hope that the trickle down from Mayweather-McGregor, you know, comes, you know, to this fight. But I'm sorry, you know, like landing the cleaner punches, yes, that does score points, but you got to land clean punches with volume as well. And if you look at those later rounds, especially the second half of the fight, who was the ring general? How do you score fights? Now, remember, all judges usually score fights differently. There's really, it's a shame to say, but there's really not a real, there's a set guideline to follow. They're showing the replay highlights right now. In fact, I want to try to pull one up for you, but I want to listen to the cards. This is going to be scary, man. Now, remember, I don't know who won yet. You see Oscar De La Hoya just hugging Canelo. I don't know who won yet, man. I don't know who won. But in the meantime, let me see if I can get you guys some highlights up. You know, at least some brief highlights. So Harold Letterman has it 116-112 for Golovkin. You know, so let me get you a little bit of highlights up in the meantime while they're doing this.
Harold, who are the three official judges? Okay, Jim. Adalaide Byrd. She's originally from Philadelphia.
Hold on, let me pause it. I give you one. You gotta go follow me on Instagram. Okay, so now, if you notice at the beginning of the 9th round, Golovkin stood right there in the middle with Canelo. Oh, my bad. And started eating all of his body shots. So now the body shot is no longer a factor unless Canelo hits him with something that like really sticks and puts him down. But right now, Canelo is fading. We're going in around 10. He might make it, but he's taking some clean ass shots. And in my opinion, he is now losing the fight.
He see Golovkin come in with a jab, right hand, best right hand I see him throw straight. And then Canelo comes back as he's attacking and counter with a beautiful left hook to the head, which I think was his best left hook of the fight so far. Then Canelo with the overhand right on the top of the jab. That's when the counterpuncher goes best. Boom, right on the jaw. Very meaningful overhand right.
Okay, so now, if you notice at the beginning of the 9th round. My bad. Damn it. You're making me mess up. There we go. Let me down here. And how do I get my little thing? Pause. There we go. Let's listen. Here's the three judges. Adalaide Byrd. Remember, she's the wife of Robert Byrd. He was the referee for Mayweather McGregor. Dave Moretti and Don Trella. Now, I know of these judges, and I know, of course, judges every now and then have controversial decisions. But let's listen. Shh.
Wife of referee Robert Byrd. She's been working here for a long time. Got 115 title fights. She'll do an excellent job. Dave Moretti, the senior judge in Nevada. 142 title fights. I expect him to do a good job. And Don Trella from Connecticut. I got him into boxing, Jim. 40 world title fights. He should do okay.
Let's go to Michael Buffer for the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, we go to the scorecards after 12 rounds of boxing. Adalaide Byrd scores it 118 to 110 for Canelo.
Whoa!
Dave Moretti scores it 115, 113 for Triple G. And Don Trella scores it 114, 114, a three-way split. This is officially a draw.
Well, I think a draw is a highly acceptable result. There are a lot of writers on press row, we are told, who have scored the fight a draw. 118, 110 for Canelo? No, that did not happen. That is fiction, unfortunately. But at the end of the day, a draw is a result that should be satisfying enough for boxing fans because it means you'll get to see it again.
And that's exactly what we all want.
Final CompuBox numbers. And I'm sure that neither fighter at this moment is happy with the draw. Canelo land.
Okay, I'm trying to figure out how to best do this. I want you to see the CompuBox numbers. I guess I might as well go to my social media, right? And because I've been off of social media to avoid spoilers because I was behind because of the DVR. So understand that is a draw acceptable? I mean, I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, you know, it depends. Now, as I said before, I don't go by CompuBox numbers. I do use them as a tool, yes, but I understand that it can be flawed. Do you know what CompuBox is? CompuBox, it's not computer generated. It's some people there sitting there with fucking Twitter fingers, just punch, jab, jab, body shot, you know, or jab, power punch, jab, power punch, jab, power punch, you know? So, total punches, 169 landed for Canelo, 218 for Golovkin. 505 thrown for Canelo, 703 for Golovkin. 33% for Canelo, 31% for Golovkin.
Or excuse me, Gennady Golovkin landing 49 more punches, throwing nearly 200 more punches. Therefore, Alvarez landing at the slightly higher connect percentage. Power punches. Canelo out.
Okay, now the power punches. Yes, now that is a factor. Because anything that's not a jab is a power punch. 114 for Canelo, 110 from Golovkin. 272 thrown, 342 for Golovkin. Now, 42% for Canelo, 32% for Golovkin. Now, you have to factor in that when the numerous times, especially during the second half of the fight, where Canelo was on the ropes and Golovkin had him right there, you know, it was more toward the midpoint to the second half of the fight. Because in the second half of the fight, Golovkin just started walking. He wasn't as careful anymore with Canelo. He just was walking he was just walking into the punches, and he was loading up on his punches later on when he had Canelo on the ropes. But there was times where he started getting Canelo on the ropes around 4 or 5, or Canelo started getting on the ropes around rounds 4 or 5. That's when it started. You saw Golovkin was really respectful of the power, and he didn't want to get hit with anything. But I understand that this is one of those fights that's going to be highly debated, and I feel that, as they said, a lot of writers, you know, and media people have it a draw. But I feel that it's one of those fights that if you watch it again and you really analyze it, you can see how Golovkin will win and not really Canelo. But that's just not my, like, I don't have any allegiances to any of these fighters, you know. So it's just my personal opinion. But I'm going to relax for about 15 minutes or so, and then we're going to watch the post-fight press conference here on the channel, and I'm starting to wonder. I think, like, man, of course Golden Boy and them, they wanted this to be a draw so they can milk us for it again. But I want to see it again. You know, I want to see it again. So a lot of people are going to come up with the conspiracy theories and say, oh, this was already set up, you know, and truth be told, both promoters should be happy because it's like, oh, yes, we get to do it again, make the money, and our guys didn't lose. But, you know, Canelo has Golovkin. If Golovkin now knows that he can take Canelo's power. That's a big factor going into the rematch. And what can Canelo do to work on conditioning? The fucked up part about it is it's still gonna be Canelo versus GGG and not GGG versus Canelo. He's still gonna be the B-side, but you know, it's crazy. But what if Canelo doesn't decide to invoke the rematch clause? I mean, I'm sure they're gonna do it again. But I'm T Street Controversy. This is T Street Controversy Live. Please subscribe.